Hey, Jay from Jay's Garage coming at you. So do not use this towing company right here. So why not, you might ask? Well, it all started last Wednesday. Me and my friend Kimmin got in Tangerine, my 69 Nova 4-speed car. He drove it because I'm in a wheelchair, of course. So we went down for some wings, and we had a few wings, and we decided to leave. And so I was backing up, and as in the previous video, you could see the one of the castle nuts came off, and it let the ball joint let go of the spindle. No, I'm sorry. It let go of the A-arm. The A-arm went crashing down to the ground. So there we were. So I have insurance on it. I have towing on it. I called them, and she gave me a phone number to call, and that phone number don't work. The 1st of May, they actually changed the phone number, and the woman I talked to didn't know it. So she gave me the wrong number. That number didn't work. I called twice. Then I called back and told her. I called again. Didn't work. So she said, that's the only phone number we have. So I tried to get a tow company from around here, a 24-hour towing company. Couldn't really find one. I know they're around. I forgot who to look up. So I look up on the internet. 24-hour reliable towing. They look reputable. So I called the number. Excuse me. So I called the number, and this woman gets on the phone. And so I told her where I was, the address and everything, and gave her some information and what the car was, so on and so forth. So she said, after like 16 minutes, I think it was, she said the tow truck will be there in 35 minutes. 35 minutes came and went, and then got to about like 50 minutes or so, and He's like, call him back. I'm getting tired of waiting. I'm like, all right. And I know I've had to wait a good hour or so when they said it would be a short time, because that's what happens sometimes. Anyway, so I called back, and they said, well, it'll be another half hour. That's what you said last time. I told them, well, they'll be there. He's on the way. I'm like, all right. So I waited a while more, and by the way, so when we left the place, Bar 9 downtown, it was 11:30 when we got in the car, and everything broke when the nut came off. Anyway, so I waited a half hour. I waited even more than that. And then I called. He's like, hey, get the number of the tow truck driver. And so I called, and I asked for the number of the tow truck driver. She wouldn't give it to me. And she says, it'll be there. And I don't call back for like 40 minutes. I'm like, what? So I waited. And I'm like, I'm tired of this, because it's cold. It was raining on and off a couple times pretty hard. One time it kind of hailed a little bit. And I'm just, I'm out in the weather. I can't go in any building because Bar 9, it's this loud in there. They're doing karaoke. So I couldn't go in there and listen if the phone rang anyway. So I'm waiting, and I called back, and I got a hold of somebody. Either they hung up on me, or I had bad connection all of a sudden. I called them back again. Same thing. Click, click. I called them back again. Click, click. I'm getting a little perturbed by this time. And then I wait a little bit. I got a hold of somebody, and she says, I'm going to have my manager call you. How long? Not very long. He'll call you right away. And it was a while till he finally called. He called back, and he says, I'm so sorry, sir. But also, I'm going to rewind a little bit. So I had to prepay. It was 260 something bucks. And I even added 10% for a tip. And normally, I don't remember, you don't really tip. You don't really pay ahead of time. And if you feel like tipping, once they get you there, you throw them some cash or something. So I'm just like being a nice guy. All right, 10%. So it was 260 something bucks up front with my card, my bank card. Anyway, so the guy finally calls me back, and he says, I'm so sorry, sir, but the tow truck driver, he got an emergency call. He had to go somewhere else. And he won't be there until, what do you say, like several hours from now, or like early in the morning. It's already like at that point, 1 or something like that. I forget what time it was, 12:30, 1 o'clock. I'm like, what? I've already been waiting like a couple hours. He should have been here a long time ago. And now you're saying that he's on an emergency call and he won't be here till who knows when. I said, I want my money back now. Refund my money. He says, okay, sir. Well, hang on. So he asked for my email. And then, so he sent a confirmation to my email and to my phone, right here, my phone. And I didn't see it right away. But anyway, so supposedly he didn't tell me how much he was going to refund, right? I figured I was going to get the whole thing refunded. Well, he ended up refunding $72.38. Or they say they did. And I went to my bank a couple days later, and they said, well, sometimes when these places will do that, what they do, they say they'll actually, they'll send you an email and everything that they're going to refund it, but they don't. So anyway, so I'm pretty ticked off. I want my money back, so on and so forth, and because I'm pretty sure this truck ain't even going to show up. So the next day, I looked up some reviews for this place. Let me read them to you. I don't know why there's not any more bad reviews, but here we go. 24-hour, it should say unreliable towing, because in my opinion, they're very unreliable. All right, this is from Heather S. This is a straight up scam and shell company. I called for an estimate, and they spouted some junk about working with insurance companies. Okay, so on and so forth. I needed my car pulled out of a ditch, out of mud, and back out into the road. They quoted me $3,000. And he told them they were insane, and he hung up. They called me back and said, my cousin is willing to do it for $900. Anyway, I have no idea who runs the company, but it's fraudulent and gross. I would never ever trust them. Okay, this is from a Shelly N. This business is a scam. Charged me for a tow. Never showed up. Do not use, refuse to refund. So they didn't refund her. Here's somebody else. There's no name. I needed a tow truck and decided to use their service, but unfortunately, it did not go as planned. The company required me to pay for the towing service in full up front. Me too. Which I did. However, after waiting for 6 hours, no tow truck arrived. So you think I was scammed? I think so. And so were they, in my opinion. Here we go, from Alora. We called asking for help because we were in a different state and we broke down. The exorbitant fee they charged was more than double what the serviceman who came to us was actually being paid for. So I'm really surprised that someone actually showed up. That just kind of blows my mind. A tow truck actually showed up for these people. Anyway, he was saying he was charged. He was being paid this much. They said he was being paid something else. Anyway, this company's billing department, this is from Christine, this company's billing department will not honor the refund request, although there was no service rendered. And also, they have a phone number. It says, for a refund, call this number. I called it a number of times. It rings once, and then nothing. Just silence. No service rendered. This is from Matthew. No service rendered and no refund. I was stranded for hours and no tow. I'm initiating a dispute with my credit card. This company is trash. Do not use. The SF. Okay. This company does not even deserve 1 star. They are a shady company that promised me a refund for services I never received on March 23rd. Very first person said it'll process in 3 to 5 days. Next person, oh, that's business days. Next person, actually, it's 10 business days. What the heck? They are rude. I've been hung up on more than I can count. Yeah, me too. On my hands and feet. There is no customer service happening. They lie about where their supervisor is or about having one call back. This is a terrible company to do business with. I agree. They're crap. So, look at the picture that I put on here earlier. And if you get stranded, need a tow, absolutely do not use them because, in my opinion, I'm going to say that in case they happen to see this, in my opinion, they suck, they're crap, and they're a scam. They scammed me out of money, had to go to my bank, had to change my card and everything. it's kind of a pain in the butt. I'm sure some of you guys have done it, had to change your card for whatever reason. Anyway, so trust me, do not use this company. It's a scam. You know, I tell, if someone has the money, I dare you to say you need a tow and pay them up front and just wait to see if they ever show up. You'll be waiting forever, right? I mean, I want to sue these people because, oh, and I'm going to rewind a little bit. So when I was telling the guy that I'm sitting here, it's cold, I'm wet, it's raining, I told him, and by the way, I'm in a freaking wheelchair. I'm in a wheelchair. I'm sitting here, it's raining on me, I'm cold, and it's windy. And I mean, I told him how mad I was. And I think at that point is when he said, okay, I'll refund you. Because maybe he might not have refunded me if I wouldn't have told him I'm in a wheelchair. Maybe he felt bad for me. I don't know. But I don't think I would have got that $72 back anyway. Because I've looked at my bank statement and it doesn't say that I got refunded for it yet. So we'll see. Anyway, do not use that company. They suck. So 24-hour reliable service, or reliable towing. 24-hour reliable towing. Do not use them. Thanks for watching. Jay's Garage out. And if you haven't seen the other video, the one I did about what happened to the car and us sitting there waiting for it to get daylight, so on and so forth. So how I got it home, just watch the other video, but real and short, came and got a taxi here. He came and got a couple jacks, a jack stand, a couple tools, and we ended up jacking the car up and then jacking the A-arm up. And we had to wait till 7:30 in the morning till the store opened up. Got another castle nut, put it on there, and he tightened it up as much as he could. And then let's see, yeah, he came back with the Magnum right here, the wagon. And then we came back up, he came back up, and he got the Yukon and the trailer, and we just drove the car up onto the trailer, and then we came home. So that's how it ended. So it was a total of like 8.5 to 9 hours for the whole ordeal from when it broke to when we got home. So luckily, it happened right next to the building, you know, the parts store. So the parts store was like, you know, right here, and the car was like just right over here, just not very far. And then the building over here was bar 9, so there's like, I don't know, 40 feet, 30 feet or something like that. So if it would have happened like way somewhere else, you know, it would have sucked having to walk or wheel car down to the part store, get the part, and then go all the way back. And, you know, and I'm just glad it didn't happen when we were going down the highway. You know, at one point, Connie and I were driving it, and we were doing like 50, 60. A couple times we did 65, 70. Not very long, but, you know, even doing 40 miles an hour, if that car would have came down right on the tire, you know, it was the left side, it would have hooked left and would have been disastrous. Anyway, Jay's Garage out. Thanks for watching.
Hey, Olive. What do you think of 24-hour reliable towing? Oh yeah, they're terrible? Huh? What do you think? Should anybody... Oh yeah, really? Should anybody go to them? I didn't think so. Are they terrible? Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. Oh, and what else? Oh, they suck? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't go to them because they'll take your money. They won't even show up, right? Is that what you're saying? I thought so.